One of the things that makes it difficult to be a coach and have a coaching business right now is how overwhelming everything can feel. There's over 8 billion humans on the planet, and over 6 billion of them are online. And when it comes to being online, should you focus on LinkedIn or Instagram? Should you put videos out on YouTube or on TikTok? Should you put a newsletter out? Should you create a podcast? It is so overwhelming. And then when you log into these places, there seems to be an endless amount of content. There's an infinite scroll. It's a bottomless pit. And you can feel like, oh, I need to be publishing more stuff. I need to publish multiple times a day. It is so damn overwhelming. I've been lucky enough to own and co-own several businesses, and one of them was a physical storefront. It was a bath and body product shop, and we had a store on Queen Street in Toronto. And there's things about that shop that I think can help you with the overwhelm, can help you get more focused, can help you succeed in attracting more clients. You see, the difference with that storefront is there were walls, there were limitations, there were boundaries. And I want you to imagine your business and pretend it's actually a physical storefront. So, where are you going to show up? Where are you going to place your storefront is the first question you need to ask yourself. Where's the main place you're going to focus? The main place that I focus is LinkedIn. I do have content on other channels, but the main place that I spend the most effort and time, and I'm there conscientiously with intention, and I'm learning as much about the platform as possible, is LinkedIn. So you want to choose where you're putting your storefront. And then with that, you want to think about who do you want to intentionally serve. With the 8 billion people and 6 billion of the humans online, you want to be very clear. So the storefront example, there is a store that used to be close to us, it's no longer around. Let's see if you can guess why. And it sold coffee and scratch tickets. It had Western Union and it made subs. It had pizza and it had bingo. And I think I'm missing some things. Like, do you think it would be incredible at any one of those things? Is it likely that there are people driving an hour, 2 hours from out of town to go to this store? Is it likely that they are the absolute best at any one of these things? Probably not. And that's what it's like with your business if you're not clear, if you don't have boundaries on who you serve. You make it really difficult for people to know who they should send your way, who they should refer, who they should tell about you. Because if you're not clearly serving a group of people, it's really hard for you to stand out in those ways. If you look up leadership coach on LinkedIn, 4 million plus. It says 4 million plus. Like 4 million wasn't enough, plus. So how are you going to stand out if that's you? And then once you're clear on who you are for and what your store is doing, the equivalent would be, in the storefront example, having a storefront that sells clothes for tall men, right? If you specialize in clothing for tall men, that's a very specific group. If someone knows a tall man who's struggling to find pants that fit or a shirt that's long enough, and they know about this shop, they will send people there. You can create that when you get intentional about who you serve, when you create boundaries, when you're willing to say no to some things. And then the second thing, it's as far as like, what are you offering? What is included in your shop? And maybe more importantly, what are you putting in the front window? Because when we had this storefront, we only had a bit of space in the front window. And if we tried to put 10 or 12 different things in there, we would have created overwhelm. People would have felt confused. So what are you intentionally leading with? What are you putting up front? What are you putting in your proverbial shop window that's going to make people curious and interested to want to walk into the store? And I'm sure there's lots that you can do. I'm sure there's a bunch of different things that you could help people with. And there's maybe some things that you love helping a certain kind of person with. But if you talk about it all the time, you are going to create overwhelm in the minds of others. So what do you intentionally need to put in the storefront window that makes people want to walk in? Because once they're in your store, yes, maybe you've got a section that offers these things and a section that offers that. Maybe you have some impulse, smaller items at the checkout. Maybe there's even a secret VIP thing in the back room that for the certain right kind of person, you invite them into the back room and you let them know about this. But all of that can only happen once they're in your shop. So with your coaching business, what is the first problem that people are struggling with? What is the clarity that they need to start taking steps? And you want to focus on that and showcase that and put that out in your shop window, instead of talking about all the different things that you can do and that you do. And then with closing off this analogy with you having a shop and you having a storefront, I want you to imagine the difference between two different businesses. Business one, and let's say that it is a clothing shop for tall men, because that's the example I gave already. This clothing shop for tall men has a storefront on a cute, quaint street in a nice little town. You can probably picture it. Maybe you've lived in one of these towns, or maybe you go to one of these cities on vacation. You picture this little cute town. There's a downtown strip where all the little shops are. Business one, it ignores the other shops. It doesn't frequent the other businesses. When the BIA is having some kind of raffle, it doesn't donate anything. It does not become an active member of the community in any way, shape, or form. Or business two frequently goes to the coffee shop across the street, stops into the florist when they're having their 8th year anniversary and congratulates them, sends referrals to the tailor down the street, is an active member of that community. Which of the two do you think is going to get more referrals? Which of the two do you think is going to be top of mind? Which of those two is going to get supported by the other shopkeepers? That exists online. Whatever platform you're focused on, all the other coaches, all the other entrepreneurs, all the other people that have businesses, they're your fellow shopkeepers on your downtown strip. So create relationships with them, support them, send them referrals, and you will see a massive difference in your business. So if you're struggling with overwhelm, the best thing that you can do is adopt this shop mentality, this storefront mentality, and get really intentional about who your clients are. Be thoughtful about what are you putting in the shop window that's going to make people walk into your shop, and then be a contributing active member of the community of whatever platform you are on, and then you will get support and referrals in spades in return.